Just a reminder, too, we still have the Super Mario 3D World final level character incentive. Currently, Luigi is out in front with $904, Toad behind with $125, and Peach at $62. So if you have a preference there, get in your donations if you want Toad to be the last character. I have a $5 donation from Dakota. Gassy Mexican 2 days in a row. Awesome. Also, I'll double my donations if you can convince Anthony to donate. A $150 donation from Anonymous. Really enjoyed the sniper boss fight. I think we all did. That was a great run. All right, it looks like we're just about ready to go, so without further ado, Halo 5 Guardians run by Distro. Take it away.
All right, so Halo 5 Guardians on the Legendary difficulty, which is the hardest one in the game. Time starts after I skip a cutscene, so in around 10 seconds, it would be nice if you could get a countdown. You can count down now. Okay, at go then. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so you saw the sword getting, well, stuck in the elite, and the game, for some reason, puts it back behind you. But it's a depleted sword. That's the only depleted sword you can pick up in the game. And in the speedrun, whenever we see a sword, we try to take it because it gives you 20% faster movement speed. It also makes it easier to avoid enemy fire.
So Halo 5 introduces a lot more movement mechanics that Halo 4 and earlier didn't have. We have infinite sprint, which Halo 4 didn't have. We also have a thrust that you're seeing him do now, which you pretty much do on cooldown. You see the cooldown indicated by a small little triangle in the top right corner. You also have an aerial ground pound and a hover that you can do. And you're going to see a lot of that coming up really shortly here.
All right, so coming up is the first big skip of the game already. You see this cannon is scripted to spin, and if we jump precisely, we will get launched up in the air like that. And welcome to Halo 5 speedrunning. You're going to get way more of this. And other things.
So this skips a big, huge combat section in the last room. What we need to do is go into this room and press a button. We can press it from out of bounds, and by being close to the button when it's pressed, we don't have to wait that long for the next aerial to load. So we're going to wait here for a load, and then clamber up onto this ledge, and then quickly get into the next room as it's loading.
If you go too slow, you soft lock. If you go too fast, you get warped back inside and lose time because you have to wait for the door to open. And coming up is another launch, and this one is significantly harder. So if I mess it up a few times, it's normal, it's to be expected. I'm just hoping for a good checkpoint because it can be slightly random. It's the thing about Halo game. Oh, I got the. That's okay. Yeah, I'll take that. It's the same idea as the first one, except it's more precise and significantly harder. We'll see what happens. And we good. so far. Let's see what happens now. These launches skip a bunch of fighting, which is very convenient on Legendary, as you can imagine. And we drop back in bounds from here. Hit the low trigger here, and Orlon will explain what's coming up now.
Okay, so the last part of this mission is a big enemy clear. There's a few knights, which are a little bit different from Halo 4. Halo 4, they were kind of just damage sponges. In this game, they have pieces of their armor that you have to break off in order to hit their exposed face or back. So we're going to be trying to do that on every single knight in this room. There's also a bunch of grunts and elites and crawlers, which are these little dog Forerunner enemies. And once we get through this final clear, we'll get a small little bit of dialogue, and then the mission will be over. So we're going to throw some grenades down here, snipe the rest of the enemies, the elites, and just pick off crawlers as they come.
There's some ways to quick kill these knights, those black enemies. They have heavy armor. You see they have those orange cores to the side. If you shoot one of them down, they go through a raging animation which exposes their face. First I try not to die, hopefully. You should be fine. Alright. Exposes their face. And if you hit it, instantly die. And that was Osiris.
We move on Halsey and Jewel.
Alright, you will notice that I have a cutscene I'm going through. It's because I'm playing the unpatched version of the game. We will explain more about that very soon. However, there's some cutscenes when you enter level. If you hold A and Y while going into the cutscene, you can skip them. However, there's some unskippable ones, like this one. And we're entering Blue Team, and Oro will explain about the different characters you play in the game and some of the mechanics.
So this is the first and one of 3 missions that you actually play as Master Chief in this game. Master Chief is a little bit different than Spartan Locke, who you play through the rest of the missions. Master Chief moves basically a little bit clunkier than everyone else. He falls a little bit faster when he's hovering, and he just is a little bit more weighty overall.
You see me doing a really hard out of bounds trick. The lamp jump at the beginning was actually much harder than it looks, and I got it first try, thankfully. And I'm going to jump around the pillar here. There's an invisible wall, it's actually much harder than it looks. And I'm out of bounds. And you can see, second out of bounds, or actually third one, in a very short time. This game is broken. In a good way. I hit a bunch of triggers, so I take a certain pathing here. You see the enemies alert, it means I got the trigger. It's very convenient to just jump over the roofs. It's also a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. I have to hit some triggers here. You'll see a freeze. That means I got it. Let's see. Got it. Tricky inbound. Ground pound. It's also a new mechanic that you see here. And you tip this whole elevator ride. That's why we do this whole thing. And I'm waiting for a checkpoint here because the next room is filled with enemies. And on Legendary, yeah, you don't want to fight enemies. You just try to run through, and it's going to be fun because instead of just going through the middle and die, if you do something the developers probably did not intend to have in the game, but you can just jump through the wall here and go out of bounds. And if you do this trick and don't get too much height, you skip an enemy trigger, and I got it. That means I can just run through here like it's nothing. Coming up, you might see a ramp slide if I get it. I did not get it, but there's way more, so stay tuned for that. Coming up very soon. You're supposed to cross this bridge, and then there's a hunter knocking it down, and you fall down, but we just ground pound down right away, saving time. Alright, so this is the second section of Blue Team. There's a lot of tunnels. And the enemies come. That was a ramp slide. I'm going to explain that very soon. I have to kill the grunts here, and there's 2 invisible leads rushing out if I'm lucky, if I have good RNG, which I don't. There's only one rushing out. So try to stun the other one, just run through and pray to RNGesus. And we got it, we're alive, that's good. Okay, ramp slide. That's an unpatched thing. As I said, I played the unpatched version of the game, and ramp sliding has been patched out. It's some kind of muscle jump. If you do a thruster slide, and then you do a crouch over the ramp with the correct timing, you get one of those. Some kind of power jump, and it doesn't save that much time, but it's really cool. There's some suicide grunts here that want to kill me, but they can't because I'm faster than them. Nade spam some enemies, so I can just run through. Alright. Picked up the energy sword because if you remember from Osiris, it gives you 20% faster movement speed. However, there's a second bonus which we are going to explain soon. Always going to explain it soon. But for now, I will get into the difference of patched and unpatched. We play Legendary full game on unpatched because it's more consistent. They have buffed a lot of the enemies, especially the plasma pistol grunts. They do a lot of damage on the patch version of the game. It's an insane difference. And also sniper jackals can one-hit kill you. It's things like that. And there's not a big difference with hunters unpatched. And always going to explain what I'm going to do now.
So hunters work a little bit differently in Halo 5. They typically travel in pairs, and when you kill the first one, it enrages the second one. So we're going to be trying to skip that first of all. And they're also vulnerable on their backsides like they are in other Halo games. But there's very specific orange spots on their back that you have to hit in this game, and it's a little bit pickier than it is in other games. So we're going to be trying to hit them with the sword in the back and finishing them off with melee and carefully conserving sword battery.
Sometimes the second hunter can go berserk mode, which would be really bad, but it didn't happen. However, I didn't have enough hits to kill him, so I tried to do it differently. Let's dance.
Schematics show a path to the reactor.
They can one-hit kill you pretty much, so it's a bit... Okay. Here we go.
Hunters down.
You can say, why do we kill the hunters now? You can just go through. Yes, that's true. However, if you don't kill them now, they will come back during the end fight of this level, which would be really bad. You would have to fight 4 hunters at once. You do not want to do that. This is the reactor room clear. What I'm doing right now is called a noob combo. If I fully charge the plasma pistol, you can take down the shield of enemies and then headshot them with a projectile weapon, instantly killing them like that. There's a certain order in which I kill the enemies here, and jackals on unpatched are lethal. They will instantly melt you if they get a clear shot on you, as opposed to patched. So I'm happy that they are out of the way. However, there's also sniper jackals here that can kill you if you get unlucky. He got one hit on me, and well, that's fine. It's RNG.
No salvage for the Covenant. Right, let's go.
Reactor controls are on the far side of the room.
Oh yeah, I should probably mention that the occasional death is completely normal because this is a legendary difficulty. It's still faster to go with the risky strats and do them over a couple of times.
Target the jackal.
Because you still save time on average compared to normal strats, or safer strats.
Engage the jackal.
So even if this might seem slow, trust me, it really isn't. Okay, let's see. Okay, Aura's gonna explain what I'm doing in the fight now.
Okay, so this control room here is filled with a ton of elites and a bunch of jackals and a few grunts. So we're going to try to kind of lure them out here and let our team pick them off and help us clear them out. The elites are definitely the focus, and then we're going to try to clear off a couple jackals that are still in the room and a few straggling grunts. And then we're going to press a button that's going to lower an elevator to the next section. This would also be a good time to explain the squad mechanic in this game. Most other Halo games, you're alone for a lot of the journey. In this game, you always have 3 AI-controlled team members, and they're controlled by your friends if you're playing co-op. But they always follow you around, and if you see him mark an enemy with a little red outline, that's basically directing his teammates to attack that target, or if you see a yellow arrow on the ground, he's directing them to that spot. And careful direction of your teammate does really help speed a lot of things up. Obviously, they're AI controlled, so they aren't super reliable, but it's better than if we didn't have them.
So you will notice that there's 2 kinds of elites. It's the blue ones, who have low shields, and the golden ones, which have more shield. And they're way more dangerous because they need the full EMP charge from the plasma pistol and 2 shots to the head before they die. But thankfully we got that out of the way. And now that enough enemies are dead, I push the button, and I'm gonna wait for the loading here.
I guess UNSC is better reactor safety protocol.
Scouting for plasma grenades, I see one.
We can stop that.
Alright, so Halo 5 has a mechanic that if you're on an elevator or something, it triggers to start. and you're not on it anymore, it's gonna warp you back after a while, just so you're not somewhere random. I use that to pick up grenades.
This whole plan fails.
It's very convenient. Pick up some ammo too. The next area is an open space area. There's 2 buttons on the opposite sides of the map, of this area, and we choose the one that is more convenient for the speedrun and faster.
How do we stop it?
There are sheds located on either
Because
side.
you only have to push one of the 2.
Those are our targets.
Reach the control sheds. Get the cooling system offline.
So after we push this button, there's 8 vents we have to destroy, and 5 of those
Override activated.
we get on foot with the fuel rod cannon. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a bit trickier. 5, and the rest with the Banshee.
Grab Banshees. You can target the pipes more easily from the air.
Just maneuvering around so I don't get EMP'd, which would pretty much stun me for a bit, and I just fall and die most of the time. You can see me go out of bounds here. Yes, that's a thing. You can just fly through there and you're out of bounds.
And for some reason, they've never patched that. Of all the things that they've patched, that's still in the patched version of the game.
I'm going to have to wait for dialogue now, and Ori's gonna explain the fight here.
Frederick, find the nearest
Okay, so
tank
this is
bay.
probably one of the most notorious clears of this entire run, even on easy. This is a huge slog filled with a bunch of elites, a bunch of jackals, a bunch of grunts, a couple hunters. Everything is very sequential and predictable, but if you miss a single thing, it gets out of control really, really quickly, especially on Legendary. So we're going to take out these first couple enemies here. It's very important that we park the Banshee up here in a very specific spot. There are 2 hunters that'll drop down into this room, and this blocks one of them from being able to enter the fight. And we have to kill basically every single enemy in this room that spawns in order to leave and finish the mission. So we're going to pick off a few enemies here before pressing a button that starts the final defense sequence.
I'm currently looking for the sword, and I don't know whether
I
they
didn't
dropped
see
it.
where it dropped.
I saw it where it dropped, but I might have deloaded. If that happens, don't worry, we have backup strats, but marathon luck. Let's see. Also, these grunts are very scary. They have fear rod cannons. They can instantly kill you if they get a clear shot on you. Yeah, I think
I
it
am not
deloaded.
seeing it, yeah.
Backup strats. It's gonna make the clear significantly harder, but you know, we got this.
Launch controls are here.
Now I do a bunch of spawn killing. There's 2 jackals dropping down here. 1, 2, 2 here. 1, 2. Then I switch the weapon. Try to kill the jackals because they're really lethal. I do not want to fight them. This room has a million jackals. Okay, not literally, but quite a lot of them. And even one is enough to absolutely melt you. And you can see the hunter is blocked there. He's eventually gonna die because the game doesn't know what to do with him. It's because the Banshee is blocking him. Alright, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with the hunter. Let's see. If I can get fear rod ammo. Jackal right behind me. Oh, I got fear rodded, I think. No, it was a hunter, never mind. There's a revive mechanic in this game. If I'm lucky, my teammates are around to heal me, but I'm not. The checkpoint isn't too bad. But it's mostly the fact that I don't have the sword, which makes this clear much harder. Alright.
Blue team, on my
And you will see the hunter die now, because the game just doesn't know where to drop him. There we go. I'm gonna ignore the hunter for now, because there's some elite spawning here. I will try to backsmack them, and Oro will explain what that does exactly in Halo.
So backsmacks in Halo are just instant kills. It's actually really kind of picky in this game. We deliberately leave the ability to assassinate enemies on for one thing later on in the run. So you have to make sure to not hold the right bumper too long in order to keep the assassination animation from happening, which would waste a good chunk of time.
I'm mostly worried about the hunter who has to die. I think he's super weak by now. He should die with soon. Let's see. Okay, that could have been much, much worse. I'm happy about this. Should have seen this during practice. It was a train wreck. But we good. We got the loading done. That means all enemies up to like 1 or 2 grunts are dead. And we have time for donations now.
All right. Got a $20 donation from Jet Boogeyman saying, "Hey Distro, fellow Halo runner here. We're all rooting for you. Good luck on the run, and thank you to everyone involved in making this amazing event happen."
I tried to warn you this was happening.
Have a $50 donation from Supika. "I love Halo. You go, Distro." Have a $25 donation from BKPA Guy. "Have you ever eaten at Distro's Bistro? I hear it's good and fast. Good luck, Distro. Did somebody say HaloRuns.com?
Did somebody say HaloRuns.com?
I thought I heard it.
Okay, that didn't really...
He's missing a tooth, that's fine.
I'll just add it, it's fine. We still have time for more donations. There are some for like 2 or 3 donations.
Sure thing.
What the hell are Forerunners doing here?
Maybe we're not the only ones.
Got an anonymous $343, and they say, "Have you gotten your organic employer to match your donation?
This is Spartan
Splendid.
Jameson Locke,
Shall we?"
UNSC.
And a $6 donation from Deflated Dolphin. "Hey Distro, let's get Warden first try. Good luck."
Oh yeah, we'll see about that.
Well, he's gonna get it anyway.
If there's one more, we still have time for that.
Okay. Have a $117 donation from Goat Rope. "Hey Distro, good luck and have a good run. You are the best."
Alright, so first of all, thanks to everyone.
Osiris, the people of Meridian Station need our assistance.
And thanks for donating for a good cause.
We need you to open the door.
Okay, so this section coming up, in the casual playthrough you have 2 ways to do it. Either you kill all the enemies, or you shoot the generator down, then the gate opens. In the speed run, we don't do either of those. We do something completely different.
Case is on lockdown. No way out.
There must be a way to shut down the security system.
We just run through here,
Eliminate the threat, then lockdown ends.
hopefully not dying. But we should be fine. We go kinda out of bounds-ish here, but it's not really an out of bounds, I would say. However, now we're going really out of bounds. An invisible wall here that we thrust into, and it launches up in the air, and we're out of bounds. We have to hit the low trigger in the mid-air. Let's do that. And then jump on this lamp. We went inbounds for like 2 seconds in mid-air. Isn't that great? And out of bounds again. It's Halo 5. And now we conveniently ground pound to a Warthog that is in the best possible spot ever for the speedrun. Isn't that amazing? There's a cool trick coming up. I'm going to park the Warthog diagonally aligned to the gate coming up. You might wonder, why would you do that? That makes no sense whatsoever. Well, there's a broken mechanic here. If you spin jump and thrust on an angle like that, it launches you up in the air. And we skip the gate, saving over a minute. And because we did the out of bounds, at the very start of the level, there's 2 things that could happen here. It's goo load or goo deload. And I got the goo deload, which is good. What does that mean? Why goo deload? What kind of name is that? If you look at the end there, the textures look gooey. And why deload? Because the area is not loaded. And that's good, and you will see why very soon. Also, if you like the tank in Halo, then enjoy the ride, because this is the only place in the speedrun where we actually use it. I'm going to use a mechanic where if I go into the tank and then assign my teammates to go inside and I go to another vehicle,
Private security for a
the game is scripted to teleport them to me. However, that does not always work, so let's pray to RNGesus right now that's gonna work. We just take the hog, which is faster, and the tank should teleport to us, but as I said, it's random. We'll see what happens. Hoping for the best. You see there is deload, that's the goo deload. I spawn in a wave that spawns into nothingness and just dies. And then I load the area. However, it's still gooey. It's just Halo 5. It's great. That's how the game works. And I think I got the time teleport. Yep, I got it. That's perfect. And for this section, Oro will explain what's going to happen.
Okay, so this is another big end of level enemy clear. This is going to be a lot more spawn killing. There's a bunch of soldiers, a couple knights. You actually have some neutral assistance here that kind of ends up helping sometimes. Depends on how good the sniper up in the tower is. You obviously have your teammates here to help as well. The nice thing about these spawns is since they're Promethean enemies, they have these big purple balls that telegraph where they are. These spawns are always in the same place, but you have a nice big indicator of where to aim your shot. And usually the Scorpion tank's splash is enough to kill everything. Knights do take 2 shots from the Scorpion tank on Legendary, so you can't just shoot them once and hope that that's enough.
Alright, so I pretty much just spawn kill every enemy here. They spawn in a very certain pattern. I can't kill all of them because they don't all spawn separately. Some of them spawn together. Or right after another.
Take that soldier down.
And I think while I try to keep spawn killing, we have time for a few donations.
Awesome. We have $117 from Super Seach Bug. Hey, AGDQ. Super Crash Bug here, and I absolutely had to donate during Halo 5, since Halo is my favorite FPS franchise of all time. To honor Master Chief's appearance in this awesome Games Done Quick, here's 117. My parents are cancer survivors, and they're just as tough as any Spartan, too. Save the galaxy, kill the Warden, Eternal.
Alright, so I took a lot of damage, which is not good. However, we can still salvage this. You just should be careful not to take much more because it's getting to start to look a little bit risky. But if it's burning, it's not bad. If it starts beeping, I'm gonna go in panic mode. Well, not really, but you get my idea. For now, I think we should be fine.
Take that soldier down.
Getting spawn control again.
Move, double time.
Okay, so it's the last wave coming up. It's 2 knights, one to the left, one to the right, and as Oro mentioned, take 2 hits to kill. I just damaged the first one, my teammates take him out because I assigned them to do that, while I take out the other one. And that's the end of Blast. There's a cool trick that we don't use in the speedrun, unfortunately, but which has been patched out. It's called multi-shot. You can shoot multiple bullets at the same time.
But I do thank you, Spartans. Come on inside.
Alright, so that was Glass. Coming up is Meridian Station, which is an auto-scroller. That means that we can't really speed it up, we just have to talk to Marines or people at a certain time after dialogue is done. However, well, there's 3 obstacles in the game. However, this is the longest one. This one is 3 minutes long. But since 3 minutes is boring, we're gonna do some cool tricks here. And it's actually risky because I can dive by doing the first one. So let's hope that doesn't happen. If it does, not a big deal. It was totally worth it. You know, gotta have some fun. This Marine is on a cycle. He always goes to the right one, which forms an invisible wall. You can see I can't walk in there. And then he walks back to the left. And then he walks back to this guy. And if I squeeze myself in between of them while the wall is forming, it's going to result in a potentially really cool pressure launch, but I will see if I get it or not. This is not part of the speedrun, but this is still really cool. If I get it. Ah, there we go. As you can see. Can go really high, and you will notice Halo 5 does not have a fall timer. You can fall infinitely, nothing happens. And there's another cool thing that I still have time to show off. If you push this machine's button 11 times,
Of course, Governor. My apologies.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is football spawning. Well, soccer ball, I'm in the US right now.
The best
I'm gonna
intel
get back
in
to
a
this
place like
ball
this
very
comes from the
soon.
people.
I have to talk to the people now.
Machine's buttons seem to be in order.
There's going to be a small dialogue skip here on the second Marine that he talks to. As soon as he triggers the dialogue, he's going to thrust back, and that's going to kind of overlap the text or the dialogue.
And I
There we
got
go.
it.
Yep.
And this is a fun fact about this ball. It's silver coated in the patch version of the game, and it looks like this on the unpatched version of the game, and we have no idea why, but it's pretty cool. And you can score a goal here. Come on.
Swooping down to take our claim. I'll tell you what. Off-cultured apogee are plenty strong. Few vultures can pick the bone so fast.
And now we have time for a donation or two.
Apogee? I think that's our location.
Sure thing. We have a $100 donation from Anonymous saying, Halo 5 Guardians was my first major game I got to work on in the industry. I wanted to get into the games industry in hopes of making the world a little bit better of a place through this awesome interactive medium we all love. To see it being run in GDQ is incredibly humbling and super fun to see it broken in all sorts of creative ways. I've lost several loved ones to cancer, and I want to thank the runners, organizers, viewers, donators, advocates, researchers, and anyone who's fighting the good fight against cancer. Good luck, Distro.
Thank you very much. We have one more, I would say.
Gotcha. Another $100 donation from Scala1. Halo has been my GDQ highlight, and it's awesome to see H5 finally make its appearance. Shout out to the SVP, and best of luck on the run, Distro.
Thank you very much. Sorry.
No worries. Please put this to Runner's Choice. P.S. Brooks, I'm still waiting for my turtle trophy.
My runner's choice is a Castlevania run, by the way, so it's a good incentive. This level is called Unconfirmed. And there's a cool trick coming up, so pay attention now, it's gonna be cool. In around half a minute, if I run fast enough and don't die, obviously, and if I don't mess up the movement here,
Find our
let's see.
targets and be out of your way shortly.
Should be good. Yes, if I'm fast enough, we can use this Pelican as a bridge. Yep, that's a thing. And this death barrier here, so I have to be careful. And this gives an enemy low trigger, which is very convenient because I can pick up a rocket launcher and then control when they spawn, because I have to actually kill them. Whoops, that's not the rocket launcher. Pretty close though, almost the same damage. I'm gonna spawn kill the enemies now. You see that the knight is spawning Watcher, and if they spawn a Watcher, you go down like that, and you can shoot them in a very short time frame. It's a really precise shot, so I'm happy I got that. Now there's gonna be soldiers spawning here, which I can hopefully spawn kill. It's looking good so far. Space dogs are in the way. Uh-oh. I have to do a backup strat here. That's not the backup strat, but I tried. Oh, it's a good checkpoint. It's perfect. Okay, this backsmack is Soldier Commando. They're heavy armored, but as explained before, backsmack equals instant kill. And this is the noob combo equivalent for the Promethean soldiers. You can take down the armor with the suppressor or bolt shot, and then just headshot them and get rid of them. I think that's it for the clear. If I get dialogue now. No, there's a crawl that ran away, most likely. Where is he? Okay. I heard the shot. I don't know where it came from.
I think there was a soldier up on the... Oh, okay, that was a problem.
That's the space dogs. They're pretty... I can hear a soldier too, actually.
All clear.
Okay, that's it.
Blue team just left their prowler
Space dogs
pod.
like running away. That's sometimes a common theme in different levels.
Ship's log might tell us
We have to wait for dialogue and
run a
push the
scan.
button here. And now we're gonna stack up on ammo. I let my teammates pick up the non-fang sniper. There's some special weapons in the campaign that have some special abilities. The non-fang is a special weapon, but it's the only one in the campaign that doesn't actually have the special abilities like the normal sniper for some reason.
We're looking for access to the mine.
We'll see a couple more of those later.
You think this soldier you're chasing is down
We
there?
used some of them in the speedrun.
Not likely.
I'm waiting for the gate to open, and I got lucky because the soldiers dropped splinter grenades, which is gonna be useful for the end.
Opening the door for you now.
And in the next section, we have a couple of binary rifle soldiers. That's pretty much an alien sniper, Promethean sniper. They can one-hit kill you with that. However, the game is balanced. You see the head flashing red like that. You can one-shot kill them.
This entrance bottled up.
Spawn kill. Spawn kill. Not spawn kill. Almost. There we go. And for the rest, there's crawlers jumping down here normally if I have good RNG. Let's find out. Yeah, I'll take that. And now we spawn in 2 more soldiers. They're just running here. Spawn kill, spawn kill.
This area is secure. Governor Sloan, there's a door blocking our way at this location.
Opening
Last time my teammates pick up the binary rifles. It's quite
Don't
convenient.
see any signs of blue team engaged in combat.
Ram slide coming up if I can get it. Let's see.
Another entrance?
This is like 0.01 seconds or something. I don't know, but it's totally worth it. This section is actually really difficult in the casual playthrough, but we have a very specific route. This section is why I started speedrunning the game, because when I had the game, I didn't know anything about the speedrun. Like, I knew it existed, but I didn't know the route or anything, and I did a meme race with a Halo 2 runner. I started with Halo 2, and I got destroyed in this room. It took me hours to just get through here. And then the next day, I decided to come back for it and, try to learn the speedrun. And I happened to get the individual level record during that, so they got me started in the game.
Something riled them up, that's for sure.
But you can see in the speedrun we just run through, and that's it. This is the world's most obvious skip, one of them.
Communicative.
There's an elevator.
They don't seem interested.
Why take an elevator if you can just ground pound down, am I right?
Keep an eye on.
Yep. Oro is going to explain what's going to happen
Report
now.
everything.
All right, so we get an encounter with the Warden Eternal here. He's pretty tough boss. He spawns a lot of enemies, and he's pretty big and scary. He's got a big glowing weak spot on his back, so we're gonna take that out. There's actually a way you can skip this on easy, but it's really just too scary on legendary, and it takes way too long to set up safely. So we don't do it on legendary, but just gonna take him out here and wait for some dialogue, and that's gonna be the end of the mission here.
That was the name of the game, as you can see.
The Warden Eternal. He said he served Cortana.
Not anymore, he doesn't.
Now we just wait for dialogue, so we have time for 1 or 2 donations.
Bad news. Should get
Sure thing.
moving.
The warden was protecting
A $20 donation from Bat Chat. Hey Distro, it's been fun watching your stream grow alongside the growth of Halo 5 as a speedrun. I'll try to send you some good RNG when you get to Reunion.
Sounds good. Okay. So we finished the level here, and you will see me do a save and quit. And that's actually allowed because in the official timing we have some of individual levels. The cutscene and load times are not included. Why do we do that? Because it takes 4 minutes until you can skip that cutscene, and we don't want to wait 4 minutes. The next level starts right away with a skip. As soon as I gain movement control, I'm going to sprint, jump, and thrust. And if I do it correctly, which I see by the Guardian not spawning in the background, let's see. It's looking good. It's skipping an enemy low trigger, so we can just go through the next section. And by assigning once to the Gun Goose and twice to the Warthog, if done correctly, some AI manipulation, I will get Tanaka on the right and Buck on the back. It worked. That's perfect. Why do we want Tanaka on the right? Because she has a long-range precision weapon, which is the only one in the team that does. So she's going to headshot a lot of the enemies, which is really, really helpful. It doesn't really matter who's in the back, but... well, his name is Buck, so he might just as well be. This guy likes to crash into you for some reason. I don't know why, but that's what happens when you don't load any enemies.
On all frequencies.
Normally there would be a Phaeton Warthog with soldiers inside, lots of crawlers, lots of soldiers, and now we just drive through like it's nothing. And we have time for 1 donation.
Sure thing. $50 from Pete54. Welcome, Gassy. Hello from Australia. Had a sick day off work to watch AGDQ today. What's the chance of a berserker scream for the defeat of cancer? I won't do it. I don't want to blow out anybody's eardrums. But thanks for the donation.
Alright, so we're not supposed to take the Warthog into the next clear, but we're speedrunning, so we like to break the game, so we do it anyway. And Nora is going to explain what I'm going to do now.
So this is another one of the scariest clears in Legendary. There's a lot of soldiers, and they just swarm you from every angle. So we're going to be taking the Warthog in here and having the teammates clear out a lot of the enemies, as many as possible with the Gauss Cannon here. Then we're going to slowly push our way up. There's a ramp at the end, which is our end point. If we just rush through there, we're just going to get mowed down. So we're going to try to pick off things as we go along here. This is another section where we have a lot of neutral AI assistance, but again, they aren't the most reliable thing in the world, so we kind of have to just hope that we get the assistance that we need.
Just trying to survive here, and I think I'm getting good RNG because I'm still alive. It's pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to spawn 2 binary rifle soldiers in here, and so a couple of more enemies. I get the checkpoint, which is really good already. It's already quite a relief. Binary rifle soldiers priority target because they can instantly kill you. We don't want to die. It's bad in this speedrun, also in general. I'm going to try to take out the soldiers here. But my team is actually being very helpful. I'm not used to that. Let's see. After I cross a certain area, there's a bunch of crawlers scripted to just run towards me, so we just nade spam them. Alright, I think that's it. Okay, now a little bit of a trickier section. Oh, there's still a soldier alive. I think I should probably take care of him first, just in case. Also, fun fact, Vale has to be alive in this section, and she's the only one that has to be alive to hit the trigger coming up soon. There's Hydra soldiers. The Hydra launcher is a really strong weapon. It can one-hit kill me, so I'm just dancing around them, trying not to die. And it's looking good. Can't complain.
Pick up this weapon. Take this weapon.
So now that every enemy is dead, this gate is going to open. And as I said, I need Veil for the next trigger for whatever reason. That's the only section in the game that works like that. I don't know why. We hit the trigger, which you hear about, you know, which you see because you hit the dialogue trigger. The Governor Sloan starts talking. And now we have a short time before the gate closes where we can pick up some weapons really fast. And I'm good. I should be walked back now. You can see the window where you can do that is very, very small. The time window. Coming up is an elevator clear, and I think I will let Oro take over now.
So this is yet another big elevator. This game really is a huge fan of elevators. The first wave here is a bunch of Watchers and some Soldiers and some Crawlers. The Watchers are a huge point of randomness, as a lot of them will just go behind the center pillar of this elevator, and we just don't want that. So we're going to try to direct our teammates around in such a way that they'll clear off a lot of the stuff that we aren't picking off. Once we clear all the soldiers and stuff in here, there's a button that we need to push, which triggers the elevator to start. And then there's going to be 2 waves of soldiers and soldier commandos and crawlers that we need to take out. And then after that, there's a wave of knights. One of those knights is going to be fixed. It's always going to appear in the same spot. And then the other 2 knights are entirely random, so we're going to hope for good spots on those.
By the way, this section is a little bit boring. I don't like this level. However, if you stick around until the next few levels, you're gonna get your mind blown away, I think. There's some really good things coming up.
The end of this level slightly redeems itself as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're going to get a really good showcase of a lot of what the movement in this game is capable of as far as just getting around.
How do we get the elevator?
Now, in between waves, you see that I push the button. You can only do that after all enemies are dead in the first wave. There's some more waves coming in, and I'm going to stack up on ammo and grenades during that.
We'll find out once we're at the Pelican.
I send my teammates to be ready to team kill. Also, I have splinter grenades, which is important here. Because splinter grenades do area damage, and they last for a while. So I can just throw them on the spawns, and then enemies spawn and take some heavy damage.
More operations than any other fire team.
So the goal is to spawn kill pretty much.
Exactly.
Just nade spam like crazy.
Incoming Prometheus.
Alright. I think there's one soldier left. Okay. You will see me melee to delay a checkpoint. That is because otherwise if I die, which I hope will not happen, but if I die, I would get reverted very far back. But it's just the consistency and safety strat. Whenever I jump or melee, I can't get the checkpoint. But I'm setting up for the next wave now.
There's a difference between running and living to fight another day.
Tanaka's right. Humanity's at our best when we're making something out of nothing. We're tenacious. We'll rebuild as many times as we have to.
Alright, splinter grenades. I'm going to spawn kill the soldier commander that's going to spawn here. Oh, the grenade was a bit early, okay. Rail down this guy. Headshot this guy. Come on. Alright. You can see that I assigned my teammates to take up Hydra launcher. This is why they just do a lot of damage. And it's quite precise when they use it. And that was the next clear. I'm looking around for the third Hydra launcher, which one of the soldiers must have dropped somewhere around here.
Can anyone hear me?
And splinter grenades. Okay, I don't see the Hydra launcher, but that's fine.
Governor Sloan isn't here.
This checkpoint delay is the most important one on this level, I would say. There's a white knight spawning here and two randomly spawning black knights. They could spawn here, back there, right there, up there. It's completely random. But the white one is always here.
We'll find the truth about what happened here, and we'll make certain that those who should answer for it do.
Grenade. So white knights, should probably have mentioned it earlier, but white knights have more armor than the black ones. They're much harder to kill. He's supposed to drop an incineration cannon, but he didn't, which is not very good. And I'm going to do the old... Oh, okay. He was supposed to rage, but his animation cancelled, unfortunately. It happens sometimes, if you're unlucky. And I think I see incineration cannon. Never mind, that's a scatter shot. I'm going to run away a bit to get some shield back. Let's see. Oh, okay, animation cancelled again. That's quite unlucky. We'll be fine though, I think.
Sounds good.
Will this survive this fight? Find out after the next donation coming up.
We have $500 from XAltX. Hello, AGDQ. Been a watcher for 3 years and have donated many times. Love Halo and loving this run. Keep it up, Distro.
We have time for one or two more. I think one more.
Sounds good. $50 from Sarkman. Greetings, AGDQ. Donating for my father, a retired Master Chief, so a Halo run seems appropriate time to donate. He's undergoing a bone marrow transplant this month, so we are praying that it is successful. Thanks for doing this event. Love you, Dad.
Alright, coming up is a section we call the Jungle Gym, and I think I will let Oro take this over too.
Okay, so this is going to showcase a little bit more of what the movement in this game has to offer. There's going to be a lot of clambering, thrusting, pretty much all the new stuff they added in Halo 5 in pretty quick succession. This whole tower is really, really long. It wraps around. There's a lot of stairs. There's a couple enemies littered throughout, but we're just going to climb past a lot of it and straight onto the last section. At the very, very end, there's a Guardian that's going to be sending out pulse waves that are going to knock us down. So we're going to hug the wall as we turn a corner and not get knocked down, and then once we get past a certain point, the rest of the level is just on a timer, so we can just do whatever we want. Such as jumping off the level.
I meant to ground pound, but also works.
It's alright.
I think I missed the cutscene skip. That's fine, I'll just load up the next... Oh, I did get it. Okay, that's good. Coming up is a great level. We have Reunion coming up. And Reunion may or may not be broken. probably may, because we go out of bounds right off the bat.
No long-range uplinks at all. Long way from nowhere, then.
We were brought to this location for a reason.
Skipping a button push and some parkouring. And this is really cool because we can walk on air. Magic. You may be wondering, why can we do that? It's funny because the developers put that to prevent you from going out of bounds. However, we got out of bounds earlier than they expected could ever happen, so we just walk on the ceiling, so it becomes the floor. And we drop back in bounds. It takes around, I think 45 seconds, but not exactly sure.
Yeah, there's a big long elevator ride after the button push, and it's really, really slow.
What the hell are the Covenant doing here?
Ready up, blue team.
And now we have a one-on-one battle against MLG Sniper. So let's see how that goes. Snipers can one-hit kill you if they hit your head. Unpatched, they always one-hit kill you. That's one of the reasons why we play unpatched. And now we're going to show some love to the Needler here to get rid of that elite. And then we switch back to the sword, sorry guys. Alright. We kill this Carbine Jackal.
There's a Forerunner facility here.
Nade the Fear Rod Grunt because they can instantly kill you.
Break through their line.
And something cool coming up. He uses Phantom as a bridge to skip around 3 minutes of the game or even more, I'm not sure, on Legendary.
There's another big fight, another elevator. There's just a huge, huge section in a very small amount of space that we skip here.
I have to backtrack a bit to hit the low trigger. I have to wait for dialogue now, and then light bridge spawns. We have time for one small donation.
Sounds good. We have $50 from Rue229. Thanks to my fiance for getting me into speedrunning in GDQ. I can't help but donate to this wonderful event and amazing charity. Good luck to all the runners.
We're definitely being led somewhere.
Alright, coming up. I think I'll let Oro handle this. It's gonna be fun.
This is a section on Legendary. We kind of just have to YOLO. It's really the best option. A lot of times on Legendary, you kind of just have to do strats that are better on average and not necessarily perfect. This is definitely a perfect example of that. After that, we're going to have another fight with the Warden that we may or may not participate in.
I assigned my teammate to attack one of the spawning soldiers here. Some AI manipulation. Ooh, took a lot of damage. We should be fine, I think. Yeah. These 4 soldiers, they can one-hit kill you if you're unlucky. And it's kind of scary. So let's see what happens. Okay. And now we wait for a checkpoint, because the only random trick of the game coming up. We need the Warden to cooperate. We need him to spawn facing the right way. He's just back facing me, which is good. We sort him fast, which cancels animation of spawning enemies, and then he charges at me, and that's where the RNG happens. He's supposed to do another attack. There's a few possibilities what he will do, and that was a diagonal slash. That's what I don't want to happen. We'll put RNG again, let's see. Oh, he does that. Second try. The average is 3 tries, so let's see. Marathon luck? Question mark? This can easily kill runs, by the way, but I think you can imagine that. Wrong attack. 4 tries, let's go. Let's do this, Warden. Yup, there we go. So, what happened there? We positioned ourselves in front of that rock. And it's kind of glitchy, because when the one does a specific attack, the hitbox detection doesn't work correctly because of how the wall is behind you. It kind of pushes you into the wall, and that results in a pressure launch. You can get some crazy launches like that. That one was not the best, but it was still pretty cool, I think.
So this is the 3rd elevator of the level, and we're finally only seeing one of them. This is the last one, coincidentally.
How did she get here?
The Didact ship was pulled into slipspace.
Alright, so now you saw the other ones at the beginning of the level. You're like, okay, you can walk in here, that's kind of cool. And then the Phantom skip. Oh, you can use this bridge and skip it. Yeah, it's not too bad. And then the one launch, you're like, oh, wow, okay, this level is broken. But to you guys, I have to say, but wait, there's more. We are not done with this level yet. I'm going to take the Phaeton here. There's actually two ways. You can go on foot, which is significantly slower, or take the Phaeton. Easy choice as a speedrunner. Also significantly easier. It's some kind of Promethean flying vehicle. You can phase with it like that. And you may maybe notice something soon, that 343 Industries might not really understand the concept of walls sometimes in the game. What does that mean? That's what it means. You just click through the wall. And now I have to hit the low trigger while out of bounds, which is how it looks, because if I fail it, it will soft lock the game, which I really don't want to happen. I'm just fly to the end. And that was Reunion. And we have time for a couple of donations, I would say. 3, 4, or 5, I don't know yet.
Got a $15 donation from GB Status. I played competitive Halo for 10 years, so I figured now would be a perfect time to donate. My mom overcame cancer twice in 2017 and showed me more resolve and positivity than I ever would in a similar situation. She's an inspiration, and I'm donating to help end this horrible disease in her honor. With a $10 donation from Starside. Hi, Distro. Good luck on your run. You got this. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
One or two more.
Sure thing. $5 from Dr. Blackheart. Just had to donate during a Distro run. It's because of him and Renegade XV, I even decided to learn the route for Halo 5.
I guess it would be a good time to shout out. We were going to do it a little later, but this is a good time to shout out Renegade, who's the current easy world record holder of this game with a 1:10.56, I believe. Speaking of learning the game, another member of the community by the name of Hoshka has a really, really good series of YouTube tutorials out there that covers a good amount of legendary strats as well. So definitely make sure to go check that out on YouTube at some point if you're at all interested in learning this game. Which this game definitely needs more runners, so I strongly encourage you to.
Covenant forces ahead.
Alright, so this section is a little bit random, but also requires very precise movement. I'm taking a lot of damage, which is a little bit unlucky. However, I think I should make it... It's always random. Let's see. Ooh, okay. I think I'm alive. So far, let's see. We good. Alright, cool part coming up. We killed 2 out of 3 sniper jackals. And if we kill them fast enough, we can just run through. And after I cross certain areas, drop pod scripted to fall down. So position myself where it's falling down precisely, really fast. It's really precise. I get a pressure launch like that. And I... Oh, hug the wall, okay. There we go.
Exactly how you get launched here is pretty variable. So a lot of this trick just involves reacting to where you get launched. That wasn't quite exactly what you want, but it was pretty darn close. It also skips an enemy load trigger up here, so we don't have to deal with anything up here.
Because casually, that section is hell. There's a lot of Fear Rod grunts and Elite. It's insanely hard. Coming up is
If they kill the Arbiter, they'll be
another
well on
clear.
their way.
And I'll take Oro take this over too.
So there's a couple groups of enemies here. Most of them need to die. You can leave a couple stragglers. There's going to be a dropship that drops off a couple hunters after we clear enough enemies. And where they spawn is a little bit random. And ideally we want them to fall in the stairs by that blue barrier that you see back there. So we can easily tuck some shots in there and take them out pretty quickly. Again, we wanted to try to skip the enrage from the second hunter.
I reverted there because the next wave was spawning and I got down twice. You see the revive mechanic in Halo 5. That's not in other Halo games, but if you die with the most weapons, you don't really die. Your teammates can get you up again.
Got it, Mark. Spartan, clear the ship master on landing zone.
Okay, this one was much better.
Move up.
Now there's a spear with 2 hunters coming in, and I shoot the turret, so that leaves me alone. And now I need good RNG, because... Oh, that's bad RNG. I wanted both of the hunters to spawn on the stairs, and that didn't happen, which is not good. But we can have, you know, backup strats, we'll be fine. Maybe. Let's say we'll try to be fine. We're fine. We're fine. There we go.
All clear.
So now we're going to hop in a Mantis for this next section. We want to hop in this Mantis at a certain time, or else the door coming up kind of bugs out a little bit. But it's not really difficult. And you can jump in it early as well before it's actually dropped all the way down. Just jump up to it and get in.
Just be ready for it.
We have another short clear coming up here, a couple Covenant just hanging around. So we're going to take them out, hop in a Ghost, and proceed on to the next section.
And I would say we can read out donations during the clear. There's nothing interesting going on.
Sure thing. Have a $500 donation from Benze to my uncle Elaine. Recently lost to pancreas cancer. He was a game developer and inspired me to pursue my passion, and now gaming is my job. Never had the chance to tell him, but his games live on, namely Alcantor, French educational game published by Lancourt. Love, your nephew Benjamin. Thank you very much. Sorry if I mispronounced it.
So in a second here, you're going to see Distro get out of this Mantis right up against the wall. That skips a pretty long animation of Locke getting out of the Mantis. Saves just a little bit of time. So this next section here, there's a big door that we need to open. And to do that, we need to wait for a short timer. In addition, we need to kill a large group of enemies in front of the door, including a Wraith and a bunch of Jackals. So we're going to hop in the Wraith here for a little bit of safety and try to take them out as efficiently as possible.
The Wraith and the Fearwood Elite are the scariest parts because they do a lot of damage. I will try to splatter Elite and I got it. I just try to live pretty much. And if enough enemies are dead and the timer has passed, this door will open, I think. Yeah. Going to wait for a checkpoint here just in case. Never mind too many fire. Ah, I got one. That's perfect.
We'll get to the arbiter soon.
And the whoa, the grenade almost got me. For the end of the level, we just YOLO through here.
Push through, Osiris. Marquis, we've reached the council chamber.
Do some fancy ghost maneuvering up here. And just drive to the ending trigger.
And Helios will be victorious.
You will notice I don't speak about the story of the game. That's because if someone wants to play the game after seeing this, then I don't want to spoil it too much for them. Also, this is an auto-scroll level, so we have 1 minute time of donations.
We're guests here.
Gotcha.
I have a briefing prepared.
Have a $10 donation from Troz. Is Gassy Mexican lactose intolerant? Because this Halo 5 run is legendary. No, I'm not, but I feel for those who are. Cheese is delicious. We also have a $150 donation from E. Chondo. Shout out to my family. Love you all. I hope everyone has an amazing 2018. And a $150 donation from Anonymous. Shout out to my cat, Gary. Hi, Gary.
Has the coordinates of one such station. Finding a constructor there should be simple.
Alright, after talking to Palmer, the mission will end. If we run away fast, we skip like 1 second worth of dialogue where Locke says we're ready or something like that. I didn't remember the dialogue, it's been a while. Coming up is Enemy Lines. It's one of my favorite levels because it's pretty short, but it's very, very... I don't know how to say it, but there's a lot of variety in it. There's a lot of running, some parkouring, there's a lot of vehicle sections, and some skips. I think I like this level. I'm taking a specific path, because in the casual playthrough usually you get hit by a knockdown wave, but with this speedrun route that doesn't happen. During the knockdown wave you're invincible, but if you even if you skip it we're still invincible for a little bit. That means I can't die here, but I wasn't even shot at, that's amazing. And now I can die again. And this is a really silly skip. You're supposed to, I think, take down a battery or something, but there's an oversight from the developers. You can just clamber on the thing and just, you know, go past it like that. Now we take the ghost. We drive past enemies, hopefully not dying to a couple of suicide grunts coming from the left. They're kind of random, but if I play correctly, which I did, thankfully, they won't hit me. You're not supposed to take the ghost here, but by holding right bumper on default settings, which I'm playing on, You get extra height with the Ghost. It depends on the button layout. And you can just go through here. So for those wondering, playing on default settings, sensitivity 4, if anyone is wondering about that. And I have the sticks inverted, the stick clicks. Because on default you crouch with the right stick, if you click it, and you sprint with the left one, and I don't think that crouching with the right stick in the Halo game should be legal, so I swap them over. In this section I have to go really fast, and driving the Ghost on the unpatched version of the game is actually much harder than people would think. If I'm fast enough, there's a wave helping me here, because he's trying to shoot me, but it actually takes down the shield. So I can just drive through here.
I'm heading into the temple.
And now,
Regroup inside Osiris.
I push a button.
This has to be it.
And after that, I have to kill all my teammates. You might wonder why I do that. You will understand very soon. I will explain it, don't worry. I'm going to set them up for first, second team kill them. I first go hit the trigger, and I assign them to go around here.
Understood, Commander. Arbiters are all wings.
And then I try to splatter them if I can. Let's see. One,
Let's help Arbiter
two of them are
finish
still
this.
alive. There we go, all of them. Might seem cruel, but it has a good reason, trust me. This is called the Kraken.
We are airborne
Some kind of
forerunner face-off.
floating alien vehicle. It has a core inside,
I'm on board the Kraken.
and I think Ori is going to explain what I'm going to do now.
So he's going to blow up this core, which is extremely fragile. All it takes is a single plasma grenade to kill it. And the reason we kill our teammates is that the Kraken checks for all of your friendly allied teammates, including yourself, to be off of the Kraken before it starts exploding. So if we had any teammates that followed us on there straggling around, it would just take longer to fall. So we're just going to proceed on to the next section here. So we're grabbing another Phaeton just to make sure we have a fully charged one. And we're actually going to be taking it into the final firefight of this level by very carefully placing it, otherwise it gets disintegrated as we try to take it to the next part. So Distro's going to place it at a very specific spot and angle here. Get out and wait for the objective to pop up, and then get back in and take it to the final room.
You're not supposed to do that, as Ori mentioned. It would disintegrate otherwise. Very precise. But now, let's have some fun with the Phaeton. I actually love this section. This skip is great. Or not skip, but this trick, rather.
Something will go.
So shoutouts to Hoshka and his daughter. His daughter found it by accident when they were playing co-op.
There it is. Do you think it'll follow us?
Spawn killing some enemies here with the incineration cannon. Going back to the Phaeton and having some fun. Just going ham.
Clear the area.
You will see that the Phaeton has two fire modes, which is the rapid fire that you see right now, kind of machine gun kind of deal, and some rockets you just saw. And I will just alternate between the two, depending what enemy I'm fighting and where they are located. Okay, there's one enemy left, I think. That should be it.
All clear.
Alright.
Commander Palmer, we have the constructor. Ready for extraction.
Nice work.
Coming up is another 1 minute autoscroller. It's the last one though, so we have time for a minute of donations. Actually more, a minute and a half.
Gotcha. We have a $50 donation from Anonymous. Had to donate during Halo 5 since I helped test the campaign. Getting some serious flashbacks for all the times we ran through this, and always delighted with what speedrunners do to absolutely dismantle games. Congrats to all the runners and support staff for a great event supporting a great cause.
When it activates the Guardian,
A $10 donation from Reed. Hey Distro, good luck on the Halo 5 run. When we created Halo runs a few years ago, I hoped we would be able to create self-sustaining community out of the ruins of the old. In 2018, with Halo featuring in GDQs, I think we succeeded. Also, solidarity with all those battling cancer. Healthcare is a human right. Let's fight for a world without GoFundMes and without cancer.
We have like 1 minute. There's like a cutscene coming up. We have more than time. More than enough time.
Have a $150 donation from Moss Q-Tip. Yay, Halo. Boo cancer.
I take it back. It's
$51.17 tip from Anonymous, saying, Halo is all. Halo is the light. Backsmack that cancer and finish this fight. Get some, Distro. And a $150 donation from Esfert. Woke up at 3:30 a.m. to watch this run, and I'm not disappointed. Keep up the great runs. This donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Osiris.
One more.
$10 donation from Alex163. I've never seen a speed run before, and Distro has sold me. He's amazing. Beat cancer.
Did you say a word or two?
All right, thank you very much, everyone. Coming up is Battle of Sunayon.
Come a long way together.
And Battle of Sunayon is a little bit tricky because in the first around 2.5 minutes, up to 3 minutes, I don't get a checkpoint. In other words, if I die, it's bad. But I have a backup save. Just in case. Ooh. Okay, that's a quick reveal. It's not a big deal. But there's another bounce trick coming right up. So I guess the reveal is actually helpful to actually explain what's happening here. We skip this fight. If you go high enough and go past this invisible barrier, there we go, we're out of bounds. Which is a common theme in this run, I think. And we go back inbounds, just easily like that. We have to backtrack a bit to hit the low trigger here, and then we continue. And this is where the oh god please don't die section starts. For the next 2 minutes or so.
Shut it down. Give the swords of St. Helios some airspace.
The enemies are random, you can instantly die sometimes. As I said, oh god, please don't die. We pick up the Fear Rod cannon because we're going to need it to take down some cannon batteries later on, which is necessary to continue the game.
Covenant insertion pod.
And the first one is coming right up in this room.
Cannons offline. Spartan lock the sword of
I
St.
hope I
Helios.
didn't miss
Air
it. I
defense
got
is
it.
down on my position.
Now we wait for dialogue and I send my teammates to come to me so they don't die.
Plenty more to do.
But Vale already did, so okay. It's not really a big deal.
Cannon destroyed. Swords of St. Helios.
Now we wait for
Another
this door to
cannon down
open.
on
There's
my
a
position.
Fear Rod Elite rushing out. It's the one-hit kill. And because I'm a little bit insane and I can't afford to die because of the checkpoint, just rush through them. Alright. I send my teammate to go to the right here
3 cannons here.
to distract the
Take 'em out
enemies.
quick.
I kill 2 jackals. And then I think Oro will handle this.
So this room is another series of turrets that you have to take out, and a bunch of enemies. There's basically a series of 3 grunts, a couple elites hanging around too. But the grunts are the main important thing. There's a set of grunts that you just need to take out before this next section will trigger. As soon as I believe it's Vale says enemy phantoms approaching, that's how you know that the next part has been triggered and you can move on.
I think it's actually Marquis that says it, but yeah, it was correct. I have some bad RNG on the grunts, and I really don't want to die. Oh boy.
Air defense powerful. Destroy it to disable the cannon. Second cannon down.
Okay, because I did the auto bounce trick at the beginning. I only have to... There's a glitch that sometimes you only have to destroy 2 out of 3 cannons, and we don't know why exactly. And I got it, thankfully, which makes this clear easier. I can just leave the 3rd cannon intact. Because normally you're supposed to kill, you destroy all of them.
Cannons offline on our position.
Nope, Mr. Grunt. I want the checkpoint before you try to nade me. Okay, I got the checkpoint. You're good. If I get the Phantom spawning, I know I'm good. And I think there's still more grunts left. Yeah, here, grunt. Where is he? 1. That's not the grunt, it's an elite. Okay, I got the Phantom. Should get the dialogue right about now.
Friendly phantoms approaching.
Come in.
Marquis. Hello again.
And I can use this time during the dialogue to pick up some ammo.
Too many for me to ferry you to.
Mainly the sword,
Need another path.
which again, if you don't remember anymore, gives you 20% faster movement speed. I don't want to die here. Good.
Thank you, Marquis. Osiris. Marquis said there's a way down. Find it.
Alright, for battery-powered weapons in the game, the battery can go from 40% to 80%. I got 55, which is not the best, but it's more than good enough, I would say. We're going to need it kinda soonish. So coming up is one of my favorite parts of the speedrun. simply because of the atmosphere, and I think the movement is amazingly fun. Because we use a lot of air slides, I will explain what that is. You saw a lot of them actually during the run, but maybe not knowingly. Like the boost slides, you already saw a lot too. That's very self-explanatory. You just boost and then crouch after a while. Like this. And air slides is the same thing, but a little bit more broken because you do it as you're landing. This is the first one coming up now. There we go, that was an air slide. Another one coming up now. And while we parkour through these enemies here, actually no, it was first one other thing. If I thrust slide here, I can keep the momentum to get extra height, which is not intended, but it's convenient to get across that gap. And now there's some kind of tricky section, and so I'm hoping I get a checkpoint, and I got it, thank God. Air slide here, just parkouring through before the enemies get to shoot me pretty much. The sniper too can one-hit kill me if I'm lucky. But I think I'm fine. Okay, cool part coming up. The hunters are scripted to get up, but we kill them before they do that by just throwing their orange flesh parts. First one from the front, and then second one. There we go. This time my teammates to pick up the Fear Rod cannon, strong weapon, so it's very convenient. Door opens after the hunters are dead. Instant kill the grunt. Push the button. Sometimes the button glitches out. You have to push it multiple times. I don't know why that happens. Good night, Tanaka. Alright, so you may have noticed I let my teammates pick up Fear Rod cannons throughout the level. We have 3 now, that's the maximum, that's actually really good. And it's going to be convenient for the ending clear. And coming up is a small skip, and I think Oro will explain that one too.
Okay, so this next part, there's a couple crawlers that will be running in the distance, and we have to be very, very quick in catching up to them. And this is what I was referring to in blue team, which is the reason we have assassination still enabled. You can overlap the animations in this game by there's a shockwave that'll come and knock you down. But if you trigger an assassination on this crawler, as it happens, you skip the knockdown animation and save a few seconds. In addition to this, after that, okay, good. After that, we're going to be skipping a. Oh, did you actually miss it?
Yeah, I mean, because the crawler pushed me in front.
Yeah. We're going to be seeing another small little knockdown skip here. There's a bridge that's going to fall down. By moving around where the bridge falls, we completely skip that little animation as well, which is right there. So now we're heading into the final clear, which is going to be a bunch of soldiers followed by another warden fight.
You saw me pick up the plasma caster there during the slide while dropping down. Kind of fun to do. So this clear is kind of tricky, and if I die, there's a very high chance the game might crash. So let's hope that doesn't happen. And I will let Oro handle this too because I have to focus.
So the plasma, I'll explain the plasma caster a little bit actually. So the plasma caster shoots these little kind of mini plasma grenades. They're a little bit weaker. And you can also charge it, and it shoots like the whole clip at once, and it just shoots a big, kind of sticky, like big plasma grenade, basically. So this is going to be our main tool for clearing this fight. There's also a fuel rod and a incineration cannon that's hidden around a corner. They're going to be very useful for clearing this out. We're going to try to be spawn killing as much as possible. And sometimes that doesn't work out exactly as planned. Once we get to the final wave, we're going to have to kill not the entire wave, but enough of the wave for the warden to spawn, and then we're going to try to take out the warden as fast as possible as well. If there's any watchers that get left alive, these little flying enemies, they can not only restore the warden's shields, but also just put a shield up in front of him, and they can be very, very annoying. Ideally, we're going to destroy them with the extra explosion of the plasma caster, but sometimes they just move out of the way and are a huge, huge pain.
So you saw me die and the game didn't crash, which is a miracle. It's actually really lucky. It's not a big deal if it crashes, but lose a little bit of time, I think around 40 seconds RTA. Because the checkpoint is still available even if it crashes.
You're seeing the watchers do a little bit of what I mentioned before of putting up shields in front of things.
I think I'm gonna revert here because I dropped the wrong weapon. I should probably do this faster. Whoa. Going to wait for shields because I don't want to die anymore like that. Alright, after the 8 soldiers that spawn there die, there's a couple of enemies that spawn here. And if 4 of those of that wave die, we have another warden.
We don't have time to discuss it.
Fight.
Take him out, Osiris.
And you can see that my team was going ham with the Fear Rod Cannon and doing a lot of damage on the Warden. That's why I let them pick it up. And Warden is dead. I'm running for my life. I'm hiding because I don't want to die. And
What's a Genesis?
what's the Genesis? That was Battle Nile. Coming up is Genesis, and it starts with a cool section, I would say. In the casual playthrough, I actually kind of enjoyed it. It's quite pretty. A lot of fun. In the speedrun, you just try to go past it as fast as possible, really. And during that section, I would say we have time for a couple of donations.
Got about another minute here, I think.
All right. Got a $30 donation from John G. Had to donate during Gassie's host block. Long time sombrero, such a great cause. Thank you. Thanks to everybody donating. Keep them coming. Have a $25 donation from Court. Another 25 if Gassie says, I can smell you in the Morgan Freeman voice. All right. I can smell you.
Jordan Jameson Locke broadcasting on all UNSC frequencies. Sierra 117.
We have time for more as I just go through you.
Gotcha, no worries. Another $5 donation from Warcraft Fish Sticks. Shout out to Mr. Monopoly and Kryphin, who got me interested in Halo 2 Legendary runs. I'm about to yank that world record from Kryphin. AGDQ 2020, here I come. Kappa, kappa, kappa. I have a $50 donation from WYRGAN, because I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. Hyper Light Drifter is my absolute favorite game. From the stunning visuals to the haunting soundtrack, so stoked to see it on GDQ and promoting a great cause. Be ready to pet the very good boy.
What you saw me do there was a backup strat. You're supposed to go through the platform, but I was so low on shield that I decided to do a backup. And it worked out, thankfully. And in this section, you will see me run to the elevator door very quickly. And there's a weird skip, I don't know why, but if you wait for Master Chief's how the hell are you here dialogue before you enter, you skip all of Cortana's dialogue here in the elevator. So I don't know why, but they just skipped a bunch of dialogue. And meleeing to delay a checkpoint, so I can get a good one for an upcoming trick, which is very RNG heavy, depending on the enemy behavior, but also really cool. So I hope I will time the checkpoints conveniently. I think this should be good. Yeah, good checkpoint. I'm going to pick up the scatter shot here, which is harder than it looks with so many weapons around it. And I got it. And now I just run through, get the ghost, drive through and hope to survive, because these enemies are lethal. This is RNG, pure RNG. There we go.
So I brought you this. I assume it will be of use to you.
So let's try that again.
Yeah, I reckon we can make use of that.
I found it among the detritus.
Looking a bit better. I think I should lift this. You can see me zigzagging to avoid shots. Okay, the trick. If I'm fast enough and go up here. Come on, yes. Okay, you can see what's happening now. Phantom, what do we do? Of course, surf it. And because one Phantom isn't cool enough, yup, we're gonna surf the second one too. It's a very convenient skip for that area. It's actually 15 seconds slower, but it's far more consistent on Legendary. So this is Legendary only. Then we drop back inbounds again, which is kind of a tricky ground pound. I take a very specific angle so I can hit the load in mid-air, and if I get the ghost, which I did, it means I hit it. Now after I take the ghost, I backtrack a bit to hit the load trigger, which spawns in all the enemies. And now, YOLO, pretty much. Every enemy that you see spawning here is very, very strong. Some of them can pretty much instantly kill me. So let's see what happens. There's a skip coming up, even with the bomb and all these enemies. Ooh la la. I'm gonna revet on that, because I got a good checkpoint. I want the ghost that is intact for the rest of the level. Are you supposed to wait for a light bridge here? We can just boost off and hold RB to, well, on default, hold right bumper to get enough height to go across it, and I got it. RNG was actually not too bad, it was actually pretty good. And there's a warden there, we just skip it, we don't even go look at him. And now, picking up the answer, and I think, I think Oro should take the over here.
So we're going to ramp over a trigger here that triggers the end of the level, but we still have the 2 wardens that we need to kill to end the level as well spawn. So we're going to stun them with a thrust charge, finish them off with a couple shots, and then there's going to be another one on the other side of the map as well. After we take out these 2 wardens, we're going to go back to the ramp and trigger the load that we skipped previously, because that triggers more enemies to spawn that we just don't want to deal with right now. But we need the end of the level to happen, obviously, to proceed. So we're going to have to go back and re-trigger that after we take these 2 wardens out. And yes, there's 2 wardens now.
Because 1 million wasn't enough. But yeah, 2 at the same time.
There's lore explanations for that, but like we said, we're not going to go into the too deep in story details right now.
Unfortunate death, but that's alright. So you should probably explain the answer.
I'm actually not sure why the answer is different. We don't use it on easy, so...
Oh, okay then. The answer is one of the special weapons we talked about before. It's a saw, which is that kind of machine gun, but it has explosive rounds. Really fun weapon. So just spamming, oh la la, just spamming the one with it. It's kind of fun. I could have lived that, but my reaction time was a little bit slow.
On easy, we don't have to do the trick with the 2 phantoms, and we're able to grab an ultra ghost, which is a white ghost, and it itself has explosive shots, which allows us to deal with these wardens a lot easier while still on a vehicle. But on legendary, we kind of just need to get past those enemies at the beginning.
Alright, I think this time I got the first one again. And I tried to get the second one quickly before he can spawn enemies, because he sometimes does that, which is really annoying, if it happens. Ooh, okay, that was a glitch. That's not good, I need to retreat here. Is he chasing me? Good. That's a lot of backup strats right now, because RNG is not going in my favor, but it seems to be working out. I'm just improvising, that's my backup strat. And we should be good, yeah. Bye-bye, Warden. So we're doing what Oro was talking about, the backtrack, hit the trigger, we're just spawning all the enemies that we skipped. If we hadn't skipped that, we would have had all these enemies to fight now, at the same time as the Wardens, which would be brutal. Okay, they didn't all spawn by the time I already passed them, but there's like focus beam turrets and things like that, which are much stronger on the unpatched version of the game, by the way, because on the patched version of the game, most of the enemies on Genesis are really nerfed down. Coming up is Breaking, which is the second last level of the game. And as the name might suggest, it's a little bit broken. However, for the second half. The first half, I think we can start off with 1 donation before we explain more.
Sure thing. Have $250 donation from Optical Zero. Been a fan since 2016 and haven't missed a single GDQ. Halo will always be the game that started my online experience. Keep up the good work.
You have time for one more.
Enough games. You brought the Guardians here.
A $20 donation from Anonymous saying, in honor of my grandma.
I intend to do the same. What if there is no trouble?
Alright, so Breaking starts with a massive clear and a massive amount of enemies. However, the first set of waves we don't have to fight. You just YOLO through, which is very random. You can easily die here. Let's see what happens. He's trying to zigzag to avoid some shots. Now every enemy that's spawning now has to die from now on.
Take this weapon.
This is probably one of the more random fights in the game, just because we aren't really able to spawn kill anything. The crawlers are really annoying. Aim assist hugs them really, really, really hard. There's watchers around, there's knights. There's just a bunch of problematic stuff here. And we have to just deal with it completely straight up. One really important thing for this fight is noting where the knights die. Locating both incineration cannons quickly is extremely important, both for the rest of this fight and as we proceed into the next section.
Alright. It's looking good. A lot of space blocks showing up, but it's fine. I think I'll get Kelly up. I have time to do that. Incineration can't help me for the rest of the fight. 69%, okay. It's a good ammo count. Not even memeing is actually good. And it's very common on Legendary, and I think even on Easy, that the crawler runs away. They usually go to that spot or to the other side. After they are dead, the door should open. Is that all? Yeah. So, Oro, do you remember where the incineration cannon was?
It was right. It was literally right there. It should have been right in front of the elevator.
In front of the elevator.
Maybe to the right more? Right there, yeah.
Thanks. You can go to the elevator first, but I didn't want to risk it. So 52% is not... Actually, it's the minimum I need to have 3 shots, so it should be fine.
I always get baited by suppressors. I always think they look exactly like incineration cannons on the ground. At least from far away.
So normally I would pick up the incineration cannon now, but I wanted to go safe for the marathon. I don't want to go risky and maybe miss it and then have a problem with that. But I'm just going back for grenades and ammo. I just saw that I'm full on grenades and on ammo, so that's quite convenient.
So good to see all of you back together.
Coming up is a tower section, and I'm going to explain as I go through it, but the main idea is that there are 4 triggers you have to hit consecutively. I think it's one after another. And the way we do that in Legendary is actually really cool, or quite unique, I would say.
You know, don't you?
But I will wait until I get there in like 10 seconds or so. It's actually a bit more. Yeah, there's a lot of gondolas and buttons in this game. Typical Halo. Alright, so we go in, spawning in the crawlers. Go up here. Spawn kill some of them. Go further up. Kill some more. Last time my teammates distract them. Kill that turret guy. Alright, so now we're in the second level. Just clear out some enemies here, so they don't kill me the rest of it. Please. Alright, now to the fun part. Trigger number 1. You have to hit 4. Trigger number 1, down here, hit it. Trigger number 2, up here. It spawns in a lot of crawlers, so I have to run really fast. Hit trigger number 3, up here. Go back down, because otherwise I will die right away.
On my mark, blue team.
Go back up. Trigger number 4. That spawns in 4 enemies, and those 4 have to die. That's the only 4 that have to die. Alright, looking like good RNG. And now those 2 focus beam turrets. Number 1. Number 2. Alright, get some ammo while the door opens. Gotta go fast. Through here. My favorite clear coming up. I hope it will have good RNG, because it can be sometimes a bit weird. Can be weird. There's 2 binary ref soldiers. Instantly killing them because they can one-hit kill me. Noob combo this guy.
Once you're here with me.
Change the weapon. Noob combo this guy. See, I take the armor down and then just headshot them. Getting Watcher. Number 1, number 2. You might think this this clear doesn't look that cool. What is your favorite one? You will see in a few seconds. Well, more than a few, but soon. Okay, that was a good reaction. Could have easily killed me. Alright, so now the binary rifle is an amazing weapon, and now we just rush the enemies and just binary rifle them pretty much. That's pretty fun. Oh, I should be... I don't know, is Linda close enough to get me? No, she isn't. Checkpoint is fine. Unfortunate death, but the checkpoint is really good. Ooh. Yeah, sometimes they glitch out and jump like that. It's really hard to hit them in the head when they do that. I think I'll live. Yep. So let's try that again. Hopefully not dying this time.
Cortana knows the answer.
Alright. Please. Okay, he's running away. Should be a guy here. And I think that's the last one. I'm not sure.
There's one soldier off to the left.
Okay.
John, we were always a great team.
Oh, he's one shot.
Even if you don't
You know, if I hit my shots, he's one shot. Theoretically.
Get us
There we
safely
go.
to you, and then we'll talk.
Alright, so another gondola. We have time for one donation to go pick up a weapon.
Sure thing. $5 from Anonymous saying, we'll donate 10 more if Gassy does his best wort. Sure, why not?
That was pretty good.
I did that a lot when I played Halo 2.
I actually started speedrunning with Halo 2 on Legendary, for those who don't know. I'm killing my teammates here because he can get in the way sometimes for an upcoming skip. Okay, that was close. This metal gondola is approaching that platform, and I'm going to squeeze myself between the two as this metal gondola is approaching it. That's going to result in pressure launch if done correctly. I have a setup for it. And the setup should work, hopefully. Let's see. Checkpoint. There we go, pressure launch. We skip this whole section and we land on the invisible floor here. That's also meant to keep you from going out of bounds, but again, ironically, it helps us. And we skip this whole fight in that room, and that fight is really, really difficult with lots of enemies that can one-hit kill you.
Advance, blue team.
Now coming up, we've got probably one of the most notorious sections of this entire game.
We intend on losing it.
There's maybe just a few wardens.
But we have a very convenient skip. We just go to where we need to go with the man cannon. So no 1-1 fight.
And that's the end of breaking.
Cortana.
Coming up is Guardians, which is the last level, the longest level casually, the most broken level in the speedrun. Don't believe me?
The gateway. I tried
I
to
think I'm going to convince you in around 5 seconds. There's a floor here, right? Nope. You can just fall through the floor there. There's a hole for some reason. Then we go out of bounds. That first time is actually much harder than it looks, by the way, because the depth barrier, the ground pound that I did when I dropped into the floor, into the hole, is very precise. And now we skip a lot of Cortana dialogue. It doesn't save time, but this time saves some dialogue at the beginning room. It saves around 19 seconds, I think, if done perfectly. And yeah, there's usually some things loaded here that are skipped. And Guardians, as I said, is the longest level casually because there's an open space area. where you have to destroy 5 cores. And after you destroy the 5 cores, there's a massive fight in the middle of the open area where you have to push a button. And on Legendary, that's insanely hard because there's so many enemies can one-hit kill you. And there's a Coliseum. There's many waves you have to fight, like really a lot, and also hard waves. And then there is an elevator ride, and then you're at the end. Well, the speedrun has a little bit of a different approach, and we'll see about that very soon. I'm going to use the momentum of this gondola to get pushed into the next room, if not correctly, and I got it. Nice. Now, before I reach the open space area I was talking about, there is this room, and I just have to run through precise movement, also a lot of RNG, get the sword, get away here very fast, hopefully not dying. Okay, looking good so far. There's a white knight here and some focus beam turrets. I try to take one of them out really quickly. And then take cover before the other one takes me down. Go through here a little bit early. And that's the open space area I was talking about. Now it gets fun. These are, well, if you can see them, these blue cores are the ones I was talking about. You have to destroy 5 of them casually. We don't do that. Pick up the Vorpal Talon. It's one of those special weapons. Allows you to use the thrust twice. And it allows you to hover twice as long. It's actually very convenient for the skip coming up. And how do we skip all of this game? Or all of this level, almost. You just boost off the ramp there with the ghost. And then go auto bounce from over here.
The first core is deactivated.
Come on.
The others are nearby
Okay.
and easy to locate.
This is really hard, so I'm gonna have to focus for like 2 seconds, something like that. Ooh, that's not good. Saved it. Okay. If you fall down, you're in purgatory, you have to revert, and you lose a lot of time. And now, this is the Coliseum I was talking about. This is unloaded. There's an elevator here normally. We hit the ending trigger in mid-air. The game warps us back. And now, after a certain part of the dialogue, the whole rest of the level, the ending of the level spawns in. We're skipping so much of this level. And I'm timing it perfectly so that I will land on the ending ramp as soon as it loads in. If I go too slow, if I go too or too fast or something, I soft lock. But I got it perfectly. And it's pretty much almost the end of the game. Well, this is the end of the game. We get knocked down by a wave. And if we hit the ending trigger at the same time as we get knocked down by one of those waves, we skip 30 seconds worth of animation because the way... I didn't get it. But I have a check, it's fine. The way animations work in Halo 5 is that they cancel each other out. So let's try that again. Got it. So normally lock would be open in the relay core, which is, as I said, 30 seconds worth of animation. We didn't save that much time because I reverted, but it's still faster in the end. And we skip right through the animation where one of your teammates picks you up. And that's pretty much the end of the game. There's no more inputs from my part. When the blue cryptum approaches and the screen fades to black, that's the time. I'm gonna call it when it happens. And I would like to use the opportunity to thank everyone for watching and for donating for a good cause. I really appreciate it. Thanks to AGDQ for having me here. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys liked the run. I want to show to the world, hey, Halo 5 might not have had the best story, but it's a great speedrun. I really hope you had fun. And also thank you to Oro for co-commentating. And Oro, do you have still have something to say?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. I guess we should take this time to, again, shout out Halo runs. If you're at all interested in Halo speedrunning.
Hold on, time coming up now.
Nice.
Okay, sorry, Oro, go ahead.
So yeah, if you're at all interested in speedrunning Halo games at all, head on over to haloruns.com. We got some really cool leaderboards, some good resources over there. As I said before earlier in the run too, our good friend Hashka has some really good tutorials for this game on YouTube. They're mainly geared towards easy, but they also cover some legendary stuff as well. And if you hop in our Discord as well, we're more than happy to help out with any questions you might have as well. So,
what was the end time?
1:41:22.
That's good. That's okay.
Again, we normally time this game with all the loads and everything else between removed, so this isn't exactly going to reflect the time you'd see on a leaderboard, but yeah, still pretty good.
Where's Cortana?
Yeah, we're done here with Halo.
gone.
Thank you very much, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Distro, for running Halo 5 Guardians there. Everyone give it up for him one more time. We're going to go to a quick ad break, but we'll be right back. Stick around. Welcome back to AGDQ 2018. Next up, we got 007 Agent Under Fire, run by Mr. Shasta. I'll read through a couple of these donations. Court with a $25 donation saying, I love you, Gassy. The other $25 as promised. Thanks to everyone for supporting this great cause. $25 from Patrick323. It was great to join the work on Halo 5, and it has been even better watching it get played in such a crazy way in this speedrun. There have been some amazing moments. With my mom having beaten cancer last year, I couldn't be happier donating this amazing event. Well, that's all for me, guys, for this block. I'm Gassy Mexican, and up next you got Crunchy Lex for 007 Agent Under Fire, run by Mr. Shasta.